As mortals, we need many items on a daily basis to survive, like water, food, etc. But how are we, city dwellers, provided with access to all these? For most of the items, we need to grab our wallets and a bag, step out in search of said items, and track down the right store to access all the items we need and fulfill our needs. This brings us to the topic of retail management. Retail management is about ensuring that the customers consistently visit the stores and buy the items which they require so that the overall business runs smoothly. To achieve this, the retail stores need to have said items in the first place, and these should be the ones that the customers are on the lookout for, or else the business will be negatively impacted. Moreover, the quality of these items need to be ensured, since the customers could easily opt out of walking into your store. If you wish to know more about retail management, stay tuned and learn all that you can from this course on retail management. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video with any queries or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.
Hello friends, welcome to this course on retail management. I know that you have come across this term retail. What exactly is retail management? As humans, we need to have a lot of things to have sustained our basic necessities like food, shelter, water or clothes. So in order to have all these things at your place, how is all these things happening? So we know that the food which is being eaten by you or for your survival is not being developed or cultivated in your area. But even then, you are having all those things available to you in your nearby stores. And how are you getting the access to all these things? So retail management comes into picture here and enables us to provide all these facilities so that it will be easy for our survival. Let it be food, let it be shelter, clothes, or even anything. Even for mobile phone itself. You know that all the factories are not nearby you. All the manufacturing industries are not nearby your location. And that doesn't mean that you need to go to that particular location and get all these things for your needs. So, and that is exactly why we need to understand more about retail management. And that's exactly what we have planned for you in this particular course. So without wasting much time, let us get started with our agenda for this particular course on retail management. So to start off with, we'll be understanding what is retail management. So that is exactly what we'll be covering in this particular course since we are covering retail management. So to start off with, we'll be understanding on a brief basis what exactly is retail management. And after having an idea on what exactly is retail management, we'll be moving on to our next topic, which is nothing but types of retailers. So depending upon certain categories, we'll be able to segregate or group the types of retailers. And according to the segregated items, we'll be able to more easily approach and get all the items which we require. And that is why we need to be learning on the types of retailers or what all types of retailers are available to us so that we'll be able to make use and we'll be able to get access to more and more items in a much more easier way. And next comes benefits of retail management. And as I said before, you need to be having access to a lot many items. And these things can be identified as a potential if you are having a business mind. And there are a lot of stores and accessories which is being able to provide you all these mini services. So if you notice the potential that we are having in retail management, that is why you need to be knowing on the benefits, on the advantages, or on the key factors that you should be focusing on your retail management. Even if you're into retail management or if you're not, or if you're planning to start a store or something of that sort. So here, in this particular module, we'll be seeing the benefits or the advantages or the gains that you will be having by following retail management. And right after completing this particular module on retail management, we'll be moving on to the scope which we are having on retail management. What's the potential like? What is the future ahead which you are having if you are actually into the field of retail management? And even if you possess a store or a warehouse, how well can you able to manage depending upon the future needs or the demands which has been forecasted? So whenever a customer is coming to your place, you need to be providing all such accessories or the needs, or you should be addressing to whatever needs a customer is having. And how can that be achieved? That is exactly what we'll be seeing. And also we'll be seeing regarding the scope, the potential and the benefits for you which you will be able to process in the future. So if you don't see any scope or the future in this particular domain, you won't be starting a business in this particular field. Since that, we'll be talking in the scope as well. What's the future like, and how well will you be able to dive deeper into all these things and get maximum benefit and profit for your organization? And next comes the job roles which are available in retail management. If you are thinking of starting your job position or in your work culture into retail management, or to start off something in your professional career with respect to retail management, here we are in the job roles which are available to you. Various kind of job roles and descriptions and job designations as well, wherein which it is actually a huge potential for you to explore all these things. And if you wish to pursue your career in this particular field, what are the opportunities that you're having? In what all designation will you be able to work? So all these things is what we'll be covering in this particular module on jobs in retail management. And right after that, we'll be moving to understand on retail manager. Retail manager is the person or is the particular personality who is responsible for all the activities which are being taken care of by retail management. And he is the person who is running a retail management system. And what are the responsibilities or tasks or activities which he is having on his day-to-day basis. So that's exactly what we'll be seeing in retail manager. And then comes the responsibilities, the tasks, the activities, the knowledge, and the kind of training which you need to be providing, the kind of knowledge that you should be processing, and how will you be able to manage the entire team to run your business to success. So these are the various topics that we are having in this particular course on retail management. And without wasting much time, let us get going with each of these topics one by one. So let's get started with our first module, that is, what is retail management? As I've already mentioned, the main necessity of having a retail management is that when you access or when you need the access of any particular item, that may be food, shelter, clothes, or any electronic items, or let it be anything, even though it is not being manufactured nearby your location, you need to have the access. And that is exactly why we need to be studying or learning more about retail management. And that's exactly what we'll be covering in this particular module. Let's get started. Retail management is a process that helps the customers to procure the desired merchandise from the retail outlets. So it is very obvious that from day-to-day activities that we do, we often go to shops to buy milks or buy groceries or buy food items, or let it be any other things. So in retail management, we make sure that the customers who actually need the items are getting it. And thereby the companies or the manufacturers who are actually getting all those items out are being able to make more number of transactions by making the sale. And that's exactly why we need to be implementing retail management. And retail management is actually a process which is followed to ensure that this is happening to the best of the ability, and the merchandise manufacturers and also the retail outlets are also able to get in more number of transactions by providing the best service they can to your customers. And that's exactly the first point of this particular slide is. Coming to the next point, retail management aims to bring customers to their stores and fulfill their buying needs. So we need to be making sure that when the customers are coming to your stores, they should be having all the items which the customers are actually needing. So the customers who actually are buying or coming to buy certain items, they should be finding the item in your stores. And it is completely your responsibility to make sure that whatever items are required by the customers are being enabled in your outlets. So the customers who are actually coming to your stores are not going without buying anything, because the things which they had in mind to buy or the needs are not being satisfied or being fulfilled by coming to your stores. And that is not something which needs to be happening. You should be having all the items that the customers are actually needing. If you are running a provision store, it is your responsibility to make sure that all the provisions are being enabled or being produced so that the customers who are actually coming to buy such provisions are getting that. And you should be fulfilling all the buying demands which the customers are having. Retail management tries to eliminate the wastage of time spent locating their desired items and ensure those items are available in their location. So, as I've already mentioned, if you are staying near or close by to your towns or cities, it is so certain that you won't be cultivating food on your own. You won't be planting seeds or you won't be planting any crops as such. But even then, you need to have access to all such things. So it is the responsibility of the retail management team or the retail outlets to ensure that it is happening. In the nearby location, you are getting the access to get all these items at your certain place, whichever you are located at. And we also need to make sure that the wastage of time spent on finding that items should be minimized. And if you think that customer is coming to your store and spending a lot of items or a lot of time to find the right items which they require, they would be actually confused. They would be having no idea where to find where this particular item. And if that is the case, the customer would be confused and the customer would be knowing that if I enter into this particular store, I will be wasting one of my time and I will not be able to get all the items as well. And in such circumstances, the customers will be going to find another alternative outlet so that they'll be able to save their time, which is near to the location, and also get in the right items which they require. Retail management deals with overseeing the distribution and selling of products directly to the consumers. So distribution, acquiring the items and seeing the demands and making sure that all the items are necessarily available when the customer are actually needing it. That is exactly the main point of enabling or following retail management. And we should be overseeing the distribution. How well are you being distributing? To which all locations are you being distributing? And your products are available to which all locations? So all these things needs to be aware and needs to be taken care of. If you are manufacturing in a lot number of units and if you're not able to get it out to all the locations, then it is very obvious that you will not be getting the sales at all. And if you need to be getting the sales, you need to be having the right distributions in the right quantity. So it is our responsibility to take care of all such activities and ensure that is being taken care of. The retail management team organizes the employees, handles the customer service, supervises the industry, and also plans how a product is promoted. So these are the basic activities that you need to be following. You need to be organizing the employees. You need to be actually dividing them based on the team in which they belong to, depending upon the tasks which they are assigned to. So depending upon all these things, you should be classifying your employees into different teams so that they are completely occupied with such activities only. And we need to be handling customer service as well. When a customer is actually entering to your retail store, the customer should be addressed. The customer should be asked what is the requirement, and they should be actually having the particular care and service which is being provided to them so that they will be knowing that, okay, fine, when I enter into this particular store, I'll be given guidance and I'll not be wasting much time and I'll be getting all the items which I require. So that we should be addressing to the customer's concern and get all the items which they require. So that is also one of the main tasks which you are having. And we should be supervising the inventory. What is the current inventory level? And what should be the current inventory level at this particular point of time? Is it underrated or overrated? So are we having the enough inventory to satisfy the customer demands? If not, where can we get it? When can we get it? And when should be the order time? So the lead period will be there. After ordering for this particular product today, you will not be getting the product at that day itself, right? So you should be calculating the lead time. If I order today, I'll be getting this particular product only after 3 to 4 days. So I should be ordering 3 to 4 days prior itself. So that is the kind of calculation that you should be bringing in while you're managing or overseeing your inventory as well. And also, you should be promoting the products which you are selling through your outlets. Even though you are not the actual owner of the particular product or the company which promotes the particular product, we should be making sure that the sale is happening from your store. Only then you will be able to make the transactions, the sales volume, and get in profit out of that. And that is the main way of promoting revenue or generating revenue through your sales outlet. And that is also one of the main important tasks which is assigned to a retail management. Retail management emphasizes on customer relationship, brand management, and sales management. Customer relationship is the most important key which you should be taking care of. If the customer is coming to your store and no one is addressing or no one is actually responding to their concerns, they will be feeling like, okay, fine, I'm stranded here. There is no one to guide us. There is no one to support me. And there is no one in telling me that this item is located in this row. So there is no point for a customer who needs to be going to find such items in such particular stores. So customer relationship and treating with them with respect is also one of the most important tasks which is assigned to you in retail management. We should also be looking into brand management. We should be taking care of all the items which you are selling through your retail outlet. It may be not your product, but even then, you should be promoting the brand in such a manner that the customers would be tending to buy it from your store. So you're not just promoting the brand, you're also promoting the number of sales that you are getting from your retail outlet through those customers who are actually interested to buy that particular product. And that is also what is coming into picture in brand management. And then comes sales management. You should be having an effective sales management team within your retail outlet, whichever you are having. An effective and efficient sales management team is an absolute necessary. You need to be guiding the customers. You need to be providing all the necessary guidance and advices depending upon the needs of the customer. Sometimes the customers would not be knowing what is the right product for them. Maybe they are looking for a camera, maybe looking for a phone. An old age person who's actually in need of a phone might not be doing what is the right phone which is being suitable for him. So it is the responsibility of your sales team or your sales executive to let him know and give him all the information so that he can take an informed decision. You should be the best person who should be guiding the particular person to avail the particular product. Only then the customers would be satisfied, and the customers would be even coming to you in the future time as well whenever they are in need of such items. So that is also one of the main important tasks: sales management, brand management, and also emphasizing on the customer relationship. Retail management focuses on understanding the client profile, their needs, and adjusting product supply accordingly to meet the demands and bring in profits. So we should be understanding the client's profile. How well is he? How sound is he? So by understanding the profile, we'll be able to judge a particular person and also accommodate all such products related to the client's profile. So you should not be over judging or you should not be misjudging a potential customer. So judging a customer is also one of the most important point. Client's profile and making sure that you are advising the right products to the right candidate and you are prospecting your customers in the right way. You might be thinking that this particular person or this particular customer is actually a potential customer who will be able to generate sales for us. And if you're prospecting the wrong person, you'll not be able to generate sales. So right prospecting or brings you the more number of sales in which you will be able to get in more revenue, more transactions, more sales volume, and thereby getting more profit as well. And it is also compulsorily your responsibility to take care of the guidance of assisting that particular person which item to buy, which item would he be needing to satisfy his requirement, and what is the item that he should be buying so that all his needs and requirements is going to be fulfilled. Retail management aims at optimizing all the internal process for better output. Let it be brand management, sales management, acquiring, training, upskilling, inventory, supply chain, so distribution. All these are internal activities that is going to be happening in your retail management team if you're running a warehouse or a store or a retail outlet. Irrespective of all those things, you should be making sure that all the internal activities, let it be hiring, let it be training, let it be upskilling, let it be distribution, let it be supply chain, warehouse, all these activities are coming as part of internal processes. So all the internal processes should be actively performing in the smooth way so that all these tasks can be done in a better way and all these functions are actually happening without any delay or hustles. So that is also one of the most important point. So that is all about retail management in a brief. Let's get going with our next module, which is nothing but types of retailers. What are the various types of retailing which is available to us? So we are requiring a lot of many items, right? That be electronic items, food items, let it be any kind of items which you require. So basically, depending upon that, we'll be able to segregate or we'll be able to group retailers as such also. So that we'll be able to locate them easily. We'll also be able to navigate across ourselves so that we'll be getting at the right position where we actually need to be. So we'll go through the types of retailers right now. So these are the various types of retailers which are available to us: department stores, chain stores, discount retailers, supermarkets, franchisees, malls and shopping centers, warehouse retailers, online retailers, and also known store retailers. So these are the various types of retailers which are available to us. Department stores. We know that we are having a lot many department stores. I don't know whether it is actually so fluent and efficient in our country, but across all the world and other countries, we know there are a lot of many department stores as well. We'll be able to get a lot many items based on the department which we need to be. So all these items would be segregated to each of the departments, and we'll be getting or we'll be navigated across through such departments depending upon our needs. And then comes chain stores. So we'll be knowing that there are a lot of companies who are actually running a chain business, right? Maybe hotel chains or bar chains, and let it be any other companies as well. We'll be able to see a same particular brand across all the nations. It is actually working as a chain business. They're actually having this particular store in this particular location, and the same store or the same particular brand is also available in all the other locations as well as an exclusive store. So all these things can be classified as chain stores. And next comes discount retailers. Discount retailers are actually nothing but in this particular stores or in their particular outlet, all the branded items or all the items which they are selling would be on discounted price. It may be first or second quality products, but even then, the items or all the particular stores who are producing or who are actually supplying all these items on a discount basis. So all these people will be classified or can be called as discount retailers. And then coming to supermarkets. Supermarkets, I don't need to be explaining much on that because supermarkets are something which we often go on a daily basis or a weekly basis or monthly basis. So depending upon what locations you are into, depending upon what are the nights of needs that you will be requiring. So depending upon you, your interest, you'll be choosing your supermarket and going there. And we'll be getting all the provisions, your stationery and all the items which you require in such supermarkets as well. Then comes franchisees. Franchises are actually nothing but, KFC, McD, let it be any other companies like Levi's or Puma, Nike. So they actually don't own the particular store and they don't run it on their own. They're actually giving out on franchises. So all these people who are actually running the particular outlets will not be owning the brand. The brand or Nike or the Reebok or Adidas is not owned by the outlet owner. It is actually owned by the company itself, and they're actually taking the permission to run this particular outlet by showcasing or exclusively opening the store to present or to order for the sale of selling only their items. So they need to be making the payment so that they'll be getting the particular brand and they'll be getting the particular access to sell or make the particular sale of their particular product. And since it's actually a brand company or a branded product, then the companies or the customers who are actually seeing this particular brand would be initially coming to your store and buying it, even if the particular item or the particular product which you're selling is not of your own. So that is how franchises would be working. Then comes malls and shopping centers. And malls and shopping centers are actually of completely not new to us, because malls have been existing in the country for a long period of time, and shopping centers as well, wherein which we will be going to one particular place and we'll be able to get all many items which you require. Let it be electronics, let it be food, let it be clothing, let it be any kind of accessories which you require, maybe grooming. So depending upon your needs, you will be getting all these items in your shopping malls or in your all other shopping centers as well. And then comes warehouse retailers. Warehouse retailers can be wholesaling and retailing as well. You can be providing the items which you store in your warehouses to be wholesale to the retailers which you would be buying from you to retail it to the customers directly. So that is how warehousing would be working. And that doesn't mean that in the warehouse you would be selling wholesale only. You will also be providing retail, and you will be able to directly sell it to the customers who are actually having the access to your warehouse, so that they'll be getting the items at much cheaper cost than the retail shops as well. And that is how warehouse would be working on. Then comes online retailers. E-commerce is something which is being on demand right now. It is a booming trend actually, right? So we'll be able to get things at a cheaper price because they are not having the stores. They're actually not having the physical stores or physical employees who are actually working for them. They need not be paying the rent. They not be employing the staffs, and they not be actually taking care of the electricity and air conditioning facilities as well. So since they are actually minimizing on all those expenses, they'll be able to reduce the price at which they are selling the particular product. And that's how online retailers are coming into picture and how it is actually booming in the particular industry right now. And then comes known store retailers. Known store retailers are actually nothing but they'll not be having any store, let it be online or offline. Most of the sales would be happening through word of mouth, which is one of the most important and most powerful marketing strategies which you can have. That is nothing but when a customer is actually buying your product, and if he's actually liking your product, and if he's impressed with your product and your service which you're offering to them, that particular customers would be talking about your product to their potential customers or their relatives or neighbors, and they will be able to promote your products for you. And they will be actually guiding you, or they'll be actually talking about your product and introducing your product and your brand to their relatives, neighbors, or cousins, so that they will be thinking that okay, fine, you can go to this particular place and get this particular item which is not available at all locations, but they provide high standard quality brand products and also cheap products as well. You will be able to accommodate all those things into your pocket as well, because it is cheap, it is economical, and it is of high quality as well. Since it's not actually a brand, or it is not having a brand value, hence the price at which you are getting a product would be low, and you will also be getting high quality products because it's known store and it is not located at all the places, and it's not aware by a lot of people, and the kind of brand value which they possess is also very low. But the quality in which you are getting such products is going to be very high. So these are the various types of retailers that we have for you in this particular course on retail management. Coming to the next one, benefits of retail management. So it is very obvious that if we follow something, or if we accommodate or incorporate something, we will not be doing that for no reason, right? We would be seeing that there will be some benefit that we will be getting by following that, or there will be some advantages for us by following that. And what are the gains that we get it, right? So here we will be talking about the benefits or the advantages or the importance of you in following retail management. So let's have a look at that as well. So these are the various benefits that we have got in following retail management. Optimizes the internal processes, improves cohesiveness throughout the firm, increases customer satisfaction and customer retention, enables business growth, prevents shoplifting, organizes the store for shopping easiness, and provides proper accounting. So these are the various benefits. Coming to optimizing the internal processes. So as I've mentioned, there are a lot of internal activities and processes which are involved in retail management. Let it be in terms of acquiring items, let it be in terms of distribution, logistics, or supply chain, or any of that matter. Let it be even organizing all the items within your retail management system itself. So all these things are the various internal tasks that you need to be taking care of. So if that is the case, and if you are following retail management, you would be knowing how to manage the internal process, how to function the internal process in such a manner that you are not getting any lag or any delay or any hurdles, or if even if you are having any hurdles, you are actually able to overcome those things. So that is one of the main benefit that you will be getting. Next, coming to improves cohesiveness throughout the firm. So since you're having a lot of activities and processes which are going on internally, we should be incorporating a lot of people, a lot of departments, let it be acquiring team, logistics team, distribution team, or organizing team, or sales team. So in order to happen all these things, we should be working throughout with all the teams. We should be collaborating and cooperating with each of the teams. So we should be communicating and we should be updating each of the things so that the complete processes, complete activities are going smoothly. In such circumstances, we should be having that cohesiveness throughout the firm. So only then we will be able to manage and work in a most effective and efficient manner. And that is the important why. That is the main key point wherein which you should be collaborating and cooperating and communicating with all the departments which are coming into retail management. Next comes increasing customer satisfaction and customer retention. When you're addressing to your customers and when you're actually guiding them and with the proper information and when you're actually providing all the needed requirements which they are actually needing for or that are actually asking for, if you're able to provide all these things to your customers, you will be getting customer satisfaction. Your customers would be satisfying by coming to your place and buying all these items. And if that is the place or that is the condition in which you're actually offering to your customers, the customers would be happy with the services which you are providing to them. Hence, the customers would be tending to come back again to your store to get the particular items when they require, or whenever they are actually needing for this particular item which you provide to them. And whenever they are in a situation where they need to access all these things, they would be firstly thinking about your company or your store which you run. And that is how we'll be able to get customer retention. So customer satisfaction and customer retention is something what goes in hand. If you're having to have customer satisfaction with all your customers, it is so certain that you will be able to generate loyalty within your customers as well. And thereby you'll be able to grow your customer base itself. Next comes enables business growth. It is so certain that if you are getting all these benefits which we talked about right now, improving all the internal processes, activities, communicating with them, and also doing all the activities which you need to be doing in the right flow, and you are able to satisfy all the needs which your customers are having, and you are able to get the customer retention, all these things would be directly adding up for the business growth which you're needing. And the company will be growing as such, and also the company's sales or the revenue generation, the sales volume, the kind of transactions which are happening, all these will be shooting up, and thereby you'll be able to bring in more profit as well. And that is the key point, or that is the key advantage that you will be getting by following retail management. Then comes prevents shoplifting. So if you are actually running a store, you need to be looking into a lot many activities, right? You should be answering your customer concerns and lot many items as well. Let it be acquiring items, let it be receiving the items which have come to your store, let it be packing the items, let it be any such activities. So you should be taking care of all many activities, and during that time, you should be taking care of shoplifting activities as well. All such activities should be prevented. So how can you do that? You can be providing scanners, you can be providing people or securities who are actually standing while you're actually leaving out, and you can actually detect these things using your sensors as well. So preventing shoplifting is one of the most important factor, because you are actually buying or you are actually spending a lot of amount on buying or acquiring these things and keeping all these things or showcasing all these things to your customers. And if all these things are going out without getting paid, what is the point of you spending all this money? You should be paying for the rent, you should be paying for the electricity, for the air conditioning, for the employees, for the power supply, and all these things, right? So you are spending a lot of amount on running this particular store. And if you are getting all these items which you are buying and keeping there, and you're not selling it, and someone is actually taking it for free, then you would be going down in your business, and the kind of profit and the kind of revenue and the kind of transaction which are happening will be going down, but the products will be going very smoothly out of your store. So that is the important key where you need to be looking into. And if you're actually running a perfect retail management system within your retail management or retail store, you will be able to prevent that very easily. Next comes organizes the store for shopping easiness. So have you ever noticed that the complete necessary activities or necessary items which you need to process, or when you are actually planning to buy something from the grocery department or from any other department, the first things that you will be having will be kept at the end only. That means that you need to be covering a lot of distances to go to the end of the store to get the particular item. And the key advantage of that is that when you're actually passing by a lot many items, you would be seeing, okay, fine, you are seeing or registering this particular item in your mind, and you would be thinking, okay, fine, if I buy this thing, I'll be actually having this particular advantage, or I'll be able to use it here, or yeah, I'll be able to consume that here. So all these things will be going into your mind. You might not have actually planned in buying those things, but just by seeing them will actually run a thought in your mind to say, okay, fine, these things are available here. Why don't I buy it and why don't I give it a try? So even though the actual customer whose intention was just to buy the grocery items would be buying other items as well. So that is why the organizing all the items in your shop is also one thing which you need to be taking care of. And in retail management, we'll be taking care of that as well. Coming to proper accounting. So in retail management, we should be accounting all the data, all the sales data, the transactions which are happening, the revenue which you have generated, the kind of profit you generated, and the kind of expenses that are incurred. So depending upon all these things, you are able to get a lot of information, and you are able to manage your expenses accordingly. You're able to manage all the necessary items accordingly as well. So having a proper account always helps you to forecast the demands, also helps us to forecast the kind of profit that you would be generating. So all these things are so certain to help you, and these are the various benefits that I have put forward for you in following retail management. Coming to our next module, scope. What is the scope that you're having on retail management? If you're planning to shift your professional career into retail management, or if you're actually starting a business on retail management, what is the future? What is the potential that you're having? So don't you want to know before diving deeper into that if you're actually planning for a business to run, or if you're actually planning for a career transition or a career shift? You would be researching upon that. You would be knowing, is that the right decision to take, or would that be a flop? And that is exactly what we'll be dealing here. What is the future potential or the scope that you're having in retail management? Let's have a look at that. Retail management is actually proliferating, and the various reasons are here: rapid economic growth, increasing urban population, booming of consumption rates, growing middle class population, and increasing purchasing power. So these are the 5 points which are the or few reasons why retail management is actually booming or growing. Starting off with the first one, rapid economic growth. So coming to rapid economic growth, we know that economy is going through crisis right now. The corona is going on, the pandemic is hitting, and the new variants are coming day by day. So even then, if you look at the market, the economy is booming. When the corona was actually beginning in the starting phase, the Nifty was actually rating at 8,000 or 9,000 right now. And right now, if you see at the Nifty rate, Nifty index, you can be seeing that it is ranging from 16,000 to 18,000. From 8,000, it is moving to 18,000. It's more than double. So even if the pandemic has been hit the country and the nation worldwide and the economy is going down, even then, for the longer period of time, the industry is booming, the economy is booming, and the kind of revenue and the kind of profit which companies are making, even during the time of pandemic, is booming. So that is the main reason why retail management would be booming, because even no matter what happens, even then you would be needing all the provisional items, the groceries, the stationery items, the clothing, the water, food, shelter, power, electricity, and whatever. All these things are daily necessities or daily requirements that you would be needing. And no matter what happens, the demand for these items would be growing actually. So that is why the booming economy is actually going to be ahead and going to be a better benefit for retail management. Next comes increasing urban population. We know that there are more job opportunities in urban areas because more companies are there, more kind of manufacturing processes are being taking place, and more IT sectors or IT companies are relocating to urban areas. Since more job opportunities are there, people from the rural areas are shifting from rural areas to urban areas. Since that is the case, increasing number of population in urban areas would be increasing the demand in such areas. And in order to bring all these items from the areas from which it is being manufactured to the area where it is required, you need to be actually having an efficient and effective retail management, supply chain management, logistics management, and several other teams as well. So increasing population on urban areas is also one of the main reasons why scope, the importance or the complete potential or the future of retail management is actually on higher terms. Next, coming to booming consumption rates. People are actually consuming more and more. Even if they don't require some items, people tend to buy more and more things. Sometimes, they won't even look after the particular item after they're buying it. So maybe they are taking the wrong decision. Maybe they are actually purchasing the items because they feel like purchasing it because they thought it will be good for them. And the purchasing consumption rates and all those are going high. The people are actually having the purchasing power as well. The purchasing power of the economy, the kind of people who are actually making the decisions are going high. people are in a position to buy this particular item and move on to a better living conditions or living standards. And that is why growing middle class population is actually an important term here. Growing middle class population helps them to increase their standard of living, class of living, and also the quality of life which they're having. So in order to have that, all these things, the kind of schooling, the kind of education, the kind of food, the kind of employment, the kind of opportunity that is being given to all the growing middle class population is also very important. And all these things, all these 5 points would be summing up for the potential, for the growth, or for the future scope that retail management is having, which is nothing but rapid economic growth, increasing urban population, booming consumption rates, growing middle class population, and also increasing the purchasing power of each one individual. Right. Next comes India's retail market is expected to mark 1.6 trillion US dollars by 2026. Right now, we are in the end of 2021, and within few days, we will be reaching 2022. And apart from that, it is just 4 years for you to reach 2026. And by that time, it is expected that the Indian retail management team or the Indian retail sector would be booming to 1.6 trillion US dollars. Isn't that a good thing to know? Isn't that a good thing that you are actually planning to shift to retail management or trying to have a career transition into retail management? So the economy is booming, the kind of booming which is happening in the industry is also going high. So it is also one of the most important points that I would like you to consider if you're actually planning to move or planning to shift. Rapid growth in the industry has created a massive demand for skilled professional in the niche. If the industry is growing, if the demand is growing, if the supply is growing, what do you need? For the companies to actually address all the demands and all to satisfy the customers, you should be employing people. You should be ensuring that all the functions, all the activities, all the responsibilities, all the tasks are being assigned to the right people. And the people are actually able to do that. And we need skilled people to take up all these activities and ensure that they are doing it in the right way. So how well will you be able to do that? If the industry is booming, it is so certain that you would be having opportunities in this particular industry. Let it be you're starting your industry, let it be you're starting your own company, or let it be you're trying to have a career transition to retail management as well. Since the industry is booming, there is going to be always potential for this particular opportunity in this particular sector as well, even if you're looking to transfer your career or to start a new business in this particular field. Sales, marketing, operations, administrations, and other fields are expected to grow along. So it is not necessarily that you need to be fitting into retail management. All the other tasks which are coming to picture. In retail management, it is very certain that you need to be bringing in sales. It is so certain that you need to be marketing your products, whichever products you're selling, whichever products you own, whichever products you're marketing. So it needs to be promoted to the customers. So sales would be one thing, marketing should also be needing to be done. Then comes operations. So what are the several activities that you need to be coming into picture or you need to be taking into consideration? All the operations, all the strategies, all the planning, innovations, and implementation of the manufacturing process as well. And finally comes administration, documentation, the report making, the kind of study which is being done on the data which is available to you, and ensuring that all the administrative tasks are also done. So even if the industry is booming, the parallel industries which are correlated or in connection or in tie-up with this particular industry would also be booming. So it is so certain that since the industry is booming, the opportunity that you are having in this particular industry is booming and you are having a right time to shift and start a new business in this particular sector as well. Coming to the job roles or the designations in which you will be able to work if you are shifting into retail management. In what all areas would be able to work? Would you be able to work? In what all sectors and what all job descriptions are you having? What are the responsibilities you will be held with? So don't you want to know? And that's exactly what we'll be covering here in job roles which are available to you in retail management. These are the various job roles which you will be able to take up in retail management sector or industry. Retail manager, store manager, warehouse manager, brand manager, department manager, and also merchandise manager. Coming to the retail manager, retail management is actually consisting of lot many tasks. So if you are actually considered or if you're actually needing to work as a retail manager, you need to be taking care of all the activities from buying the items or acquiring the items or procuring the items to actually making the sales itself. So all the activities that you need to be inculcating or all the activities which are involved in all these areas as retail management, you need to be taking care of. So the responsibilities that you will be held with will also be varying accordingly. So the more amount of responsibility and the more amount of tasks and the more amount of risks would be associated with retail manager, and you are the single person who is responsible for all these activities as well. So you are the person who needs to be coordinating with the several departments which are involved, and also to ensure the smooth functioning of retail management as well. Next comes store manager. A store manager would be responsible for the store itself, the sales which are happening in the store, the kind of procurement and acquirement of the sales team, and also the people who are actually needed. So the sales, the management, the administration, the kind of procurement you should be keeping, the kind of people whom you should be acquiring to clean the areas and to guide your customers. So you are the person who are completely in charge of the store. Whatever happens to the store, you will be responsible. And you are the person who needs to be taking care of all the activities that is coming into picture in your store. Let it be acquiring the items, let it be managing the items, let it be distributing, attending your customers' concerns, maybe bringing in new customers, making promotions, adjusting or organizing the structures in all the activities in the stores, and all such things would be considered as your activity. Then comes warehouse manager. Warehouse manager is where in which you will be able to work in a warehouse. You are managing all the things which are being enabled in a warehouse. So you would be needing charge of the supply chain management, wherein which you should be forecasting the demand. You should be actually ordering that particular item whenever needed. So you should be calculating your lead time there. If you're ordering one item today, it need not be delivered in that particular day. So for different particular items, the lead time would be differing. So depending upon all the lead time, you should be differing your ordering purchase details as well. So depending upon all these things, you should be managing that. You should be storing things in the right manner. You should be making sure that all the items that you are storing in your warehouse is not getting spoiled. It is being stored safely, and the conditions in which it is stored is also in the right way. And when you are storing the items in your warehouse, you should be making sure that all the items are packed and stored in an organized manner, so that whenever the requirement is being raised by a customer or any a person, you should be able to provide that. Even if you store all the items and if you're not able to get a particular item out when it is being required, there is no point in storing that particular item at all. So whenever the demand is raised, you should be knowing if you're having any item, you should be documenting all the informations, and also you should be able to get out of that particular item when needed. So all these things would be the responsibility if you are working as a warehouse manager. Next comes brand manager. As a brand manager, you should be taking care of the brand. What kind of sales are coming to your brand? How many products are getting you sales? And what is the best product that is moving in the market right now? And how can you improve the kind of movement that is happening in the market for your other products as well? What is the kind of strategy that you will be able to use? What is the kind of new novelty that you will be able to bring in? So all these things would be your responsibility. The complete ownership of the brand, the complete ownership of all the products that you are providing to your customers. So that would be your main opportunity to work with as a brand manager. Next comes department manager. If you move across any store or any supermarket, you would be knowing that, or you would be seeing that there are actually a lot of several departments, maybe food items, maybe stationery items, maybe clothing items. So depending upon all these things, you would be having different sections or departments. So a department manager would be responsible for that particular department. What are the activities that is being taking place in the particular department? Only those particular items would be the responsibility of a department manager. Apart from that, or all the activities which is being happening apart or outside the particular department is not a concern for this department manager. So a department manager needs to take care of all the activities that is being taking place within the department and make sure that all the sales which is happening within the department are being conducted in a smooth and efficient manner. Next comes merchandise manager. So what product are you trying to buy? What product are you selling? Or in which all categories are you belonging to? So in which all categories do you actually interfere with? So all the kind of merchandise which you are involving will be your responsibility. The acquiring, the sales, the management, the kind of customer satisfaction, the kind of customer retention, and all the data also should be needed to be accompanied here as well. So as a designation or as a person who is belonging to retail management, these are the various job roles which are available for you to work as a manager. Apart from that, there are also other job roles as well. So here in this particular slide, I am showing a very few job roles which would be sufficing you or which you would be having an interest to pursue. So these are completely on the job roles as well. Now let's talk about retail manager. Who exactly is a retail manager? So we would be knowing that the one who manages retail or the retail management is led by retail manager, right? So let's know in much detail on a retail manager. The primary role of a retail manager is to run a store successfully. No matter what kind of products you sell, no matter what sector you're working for, or what is the kind of business your store is into. So irrespective of all those things, a retail manager is the sole person responsible for running the store successfully. No matter whatever products you're selling, it is the sole responsibility of a retail manager to make sure that the store which you are running is successful. The retail manager works on the shop floor and ensures everything is fine. So he constantly runs and administers and verify and monitor and control all the activities which are being taking place on a shop floor. So he is a person who should be available on the shop floor and ensure smooth functioning and working of the particular area. So what are the responsibilities which he's looking into? He should be there. He should be making sure that he's running a successful store, and he should be addressing to all the issues that is being coming out. So he should be a person who is available on the shop floor and take charge of everything and ensure that all the activities are running smoothly. Retail managers are in constant contact with his team and customers. He should be able to be addressed to, or whenever a problem is being raised, the particular teammates should be able to inform the particular retail manager so that what is the next step to be taken. We have come across this particular situation, this particular problem. What is to be done? What is the best alternative that we'll be able to take care? So to that to happen, he should be available to the customers and also for the team members. So the customers will be having queries, concerns, and which needs to be addressed to. Sometimes the sales executive or the persons who are actually in charge of the particular task might not be able to do so. In such cases, the retail manager himself needs to show up and communicate to know more about what the queries the customers are having and how can that be addressed to. So retail manager needs to be addressing to the customer queries and also needs to be coming to the teammates to address and guide the team in the right direction possible. Retail manager ensures that all his staff provide excellent service to their customers. It is not just that you should be mentioning that the sales executive or the salesperson should be taking care of all those things. The retail manager himself needs to take the necessary action to make sure that all these activities are being placed on the right manner. He should be making sure that, okay, all the customer queries, all the customers' doubts or confusions are being addressed to, and he should be confirming it. Whatever needs to be done by the manager. And he himself should be taking the initial effort from himself to make sure that, okay, fine, I have told these many tasks to this particular people, or these are the particular tasks which he should be doing. And if you just by conveying all those items, it doesn't mean that that would be done. So we should be taking an extra step, an extra effort to ensure that all these particular items are being done by the person who are actually needing to do those. Retail manager also monitors the financial performance of the store. What is the kind of sales they bring in? What is the kind of debts they are into? And how would they be able to manage? What is the kind of expense they are incurring? Let it be the power, the salaries which need to be paying, the cleaning staffs, and also on acquiring all these items as well. So what are the kind of right acquirements that you need to be making? What is the kind of transaction that you are able to make? And what would be the kind of transaction that you would be able to make in the future months as well? So all these things, accountings and documentations and informations need to be stored, understood, and implemented in the right way. So that's all about a retail management in brief. Now coming to the responsibilities. What all are the responsibilities that is being held by a retail manager? Let's have a look at that without wasting any minute. These are the various tasks or responsibilities which are held by a retail manager, which are recruiting, training, and managing the team, allocating the budget for the team, maintaining financial records, dealing with the customer queries and complaints, overseeing the prices, stock management, meeting the sales target, handling promotions, and reporting to the higher level managers. So these are the various responsibilities. Recruitment, training, and managing the team. No matter what company you are into, whatever brand value you're having, in order to get the sales, you need to be having an effective sales team. And in order to do that, you should be recruiting the right team, right candidates for the particular item or particular responsibilities or job roles. And you should be giving constant training to improve themselves. What is the kind of skills they're having and how can you upskill them in the future so that they will be an asset to you and to your company and thereby promote more number of sales for your company and thereby bring in more profit. So it is very much important for you to recruit the right candidates and also to give them frequent valuable training so that they will be able to upskill them. And you should be managing the team in the most effective and efficient way possible so that there is no issue which is being happening within the team which is affecting the performance of each and every individual. Next comes allocating the budget. What is the kind of budget that you are having? You need to be acquiring items, you need to be dispatching items, you need to be making care of distributions, you should be taking care of distributions, logistics, and the power supply, the rent, the sales staff which are included, the kind of salary which you need to be paying. So all those additional expenses are also coming. So how much amount will you be able to allocate to each of the factors? And what would be the right kind of allocated budget, which should be practical, which should be feasible, and all the activities should be taking place within the budget itself. So right allocation of budget is also one of the most important factor which is being held with as a sales or a retail manager. Next comes maintaining financial records. What is the turnover you're having? What is the kind of revenue you generated? What is the sales volume? How many products did you sell? What are the kind of units that you sold? And what are the kind of products that are coming into your warehouse? What are the number of new units which you're buying? What are the kind of ordering you're making? And what is the kind of financial transactions that you're into? Is it going in profit? Is it on loss? And how can you study from the data and improve? So, in order to do that, you should be having proper financial documents documented so that even if your senior manager is questioning you, you are answerable to them and you are in a position to safeguard yourself and convey or share these particular details. So this is also one of the most important tool or a skill set or the responsibility that is being held with you, maintaining financial records. Coming to dealing with customer queries and complaints. It is so certain that there will be a lot of customer queries come in. The customers would be wanting to know more about the product. They would be sometimes not knowing what is the right product which is being suitable for them, for their particular requirement. So it is our responsibility to guide them in the right way, which would be the right product and what would be the right kind of service that you will be able to give them. And even after making the purchase, the customers would be coming back and asking, hey, the particular item is not working properly. What can be done? So in that particular scenario, you should be pitching in and solving all these queries and complaints which are being forwarded by your customers. Next comes overseeing prices. What is the price in which you are selling your product? What is the price at which the other competitor is selling their product? So you should be actually matching the market. You should not be overpricing and you should not be underpricing so that you are compromising on your profits. You should be knowing when is the right time to make the offers, make the discount for the people, and what is the duration for you to continue that particular offer, and what is the right time to start the offer and end the offer. So pricing or overpricing and overseeing the pricing are also one of the main tasks which is being held by a retail manager. Stock management. In order to suffice or address to your customer concerns or customer requirements, whenever they are raising their demands, you need to be making sure that you are in a position to supply all those particular items when the customers are raising their demands. So for that to happen, you should be having the right amount of stock. You should not be overstocking. You should not be understocking as well. Overstocking would be leading to, dead money. You're investing a lot of money and you're keeping it there. Unless and until that particular product is moving out, you're not able to make the money. But you are costing you additional expenses, storage cost, storage space, cleaning, maintaining, and staff and requirement and security and all those things could be coming apart from that. So it is always important for you to maintain the right stocks. And it's your responsibility to take care of that as well. Meeting the sales target. Each and every store, each and every department, and each and every activity will be actually having a target. You should be knowing that what is the right amount of sales that you should be getting. And you should be assigning the right sales target to the right individuals, depending upon the category they are into, depending upon the product they are selling, and depending upon whatever feasible activities that you need to be taking part. So depending upon the practical scenario, and you should be making sure that you are actually giving the right targets to the right people, so that it should be practical, it should be achievable, and you should be making sure that you're motivating the people to achieve that particular target and give them the rewards and appraisals. And heading promotions is also one of the main tasks which you should be providing. Even if the brand which you're actually selling is not completely your own, you are the one who are actually selling these particular products. And only by selling these particular products, you will be able to generate revenue and profit. And in order to do that, maybe you should be making promotions as well. You need to be promoting your store, the items which you're selling in your store, and all such activities which are related to that. So that is also one of the most important tasks which you should be taking care of. Next comes reporting to higher level manager. It is so certain that you would be having your senior manager, your managing director, and all such higher officials which you should be addressing to or you should be answerable to. So whenever any queries are happening, you should be making sure that all those things are addressed. So following all these responsibilities and tasks in the right way and making it documented would be helping you to answer all these queries to the right manner, in the right direction, to the right persons when they're asked. So that is all about the responsibilities that you are held with if you're into retail manager. So by now, we have come to the end of this particular course on retail management. We have covered all the particular topics that we had planned to cover in this particular course. So we started off by understanding what exactly is retail management. Retail management, right? So we saw about we'll be having a lot of needs, necessities, and in order to get that particular item in our location, what can be done? And that is exactly the responsibility of the retail management team. So regarding that, we saw in the first particular module on what is retail management. Then we went on to understand what are the benefits, what are the gains or the advantages that you will be gaining by following retail management. You will be able to stock the right items. You will be able to supply the demands when the customer is actually raising the demand. So all these things will be your advantage or the benefits that you will be able to get by following retail management. And the next one would be the scope. What is the kind of scope that you are having in retail management? Is it a good field that you to enter? If you're actually planning to start a business in retail management, is it a good time to start? And what if you are actually seeking for a career transition into retail management? Is that a good decision? Is that the right decision that you need to be making? So we saw regarding that as well. We saw that it is going to be a market of 1.6 trillion US dollars by 2026, and all the other related or connected field will also be booming in that particular manner. Since retail management is booming, the sales management, the complete operations and administrations which are related to this will also be booming. So that is all about the scope. And then we saw what are the job roles which are available to you. You can work as a retail manager, store manager, merchandise manager, or supply chain manager, or any of that sort, right? So there are various roles which are available to you. And if you're actually planning to shift your career from any other department to retail management, it is completely open to you. Then we saw regarding retail manager. Who is a retail manager? Who is the sole person responsible for all the activities that is being taking place in retail management? And after that, we saw regarding the qualities or the responsibilities that are being held with a retail manager. He needs to be overseeing the prices. He should be recruiting. He should be giving the training. He should be addressing the customer concerns. He should be actually managing the stocks and all those things. That is what we actually saw very recently. So these are the various topics that we had in our mind to cover in this particular topic, and we actually did that. And I hope that you had a fun and informative session with me right now. So signing off here right now, and let's meet with another video coming soon. Thank you.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video with any queries or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.